Welcome to Travel Market Live Hotel Tech Clinic. I'm Ryan Haynes, your host. Now, we've been talking through all the series about how new technologies can help you take advantage of opportunities within the market, but also in better engaging with your guests or travelers. We've looked at everything from contactless engagement, new platforms, chatbots, automation, and today we're going to be looking at conversational marketing for lead generation and direct bookings. Now, what is the role of search and email and the challenges that you have to be able to engage with your guests, and the role of social media becoming much more prevalent today, but also the role of direct messaging, everything from SMS to WhatsApp to WeChat. How are they involved within the customer buying journey? Well, joining me today is Rodrigo Teixeira from R Suites, who has been looking deeply into the role of direct messaging with guests as they look at booking. Well, hello there, Rodrigo, all the way from South America in Brazil. How is life treating you down there?
Hi, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invite, and I really appreciate what you, all your podcasts and lives and so on. So I really appreciate your content. Thank you very much to be here.
No, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, I've had a chance to look around the R Suite system, and particularly as we started the conversation about having this interview before I even seen the system, and then really get an understanding as to what this conversational marketing is from your perspective, because it really is about capturing that potential guest at the earliest possibility and assisting the sales and reservations team in capturing that. So, I mean, how, from your perspective, is engagement and communications changing between hoteliers and guests?
Great question. So changes begin in people's behavior. So today, the vast majority of countries' interpersonal communication with friends and relatives takes place via messaging applications. So WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, chats, Telegram, WeChat, and so on. So now people hope that companies will also be available to chat through these channels. So I actually talked last week with a hotelier from England, and he uses WhatsApp to talk to all customers, mainly in the corporate segment. So in Latin America, for example, Portugal, Australia, several hotels are using WhatsApp and are starting to use it as an important channel to connect directly with your potential guest. So the customers access the hotel WhatsApp number or even the website chat to ask a question, and ends up concluding the reservation right there. So, and this behavior occurs in parallel with the drop in traditional service channels such as telephone and email. In the US, for example, the number of people who have a landline at home has dropped by more than 3% per year for more than 5 years. So here at Ask Suite, when our chatbot is installed on the hotel website, there is an average reduction of 60% in the volume of emails, so received by the hotel. So to answer your question, today's big paradigm shift is hotels being available by messaging.
I mean, things have changed so much over the last few months, and particularly COVID-19 has accelerated our use of different communication channels. I mean, we've already seen the explosion of Zoom, for example, but we've been using all sorts of different types of video conferencing lines. And certainly for me, WhatsApp has become more prevalent rather than my clients, my contacts sending me emails, and they're just dropping me a message for a quick question. And it's interesting, where you come from, because I myself lived in Brazil for a couple of years and just saw how much more advanced from a perspective of communications and communications channels South America is compared to Europe. We already see China, especially with WeChat, it's a super app, being able to do so much more than just communications, but also handle transactions. That this is really where you're seeing that possibility and helping bring some of the older countries, do I say older countries like Europe and North America, to embrace these new technologies. I mean, and this all comes down to expectation of the guest as well, isn't it? It's not just about operational efficiency, but it's also about tapping into what the guest needs.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, WhatsApp just tried to test in Brazil, firstly, their payment method. It was blocked by some data issues, things like that. But they choose Brazil to try to test its new feature. Where you can pay for transaction directly through the conversation. So that's a trend, as you said. Today, the customer wants to spend as little time as possible making a decision to book a hotel, for example. So the client wants their question answered as soon as possible, and there is no more room in the hotel industry for a response time of more than 6 hours, for an email with a quote request or a simple reply. So the customer will have already booked either with a competitor or a note here if you do not go fast and reply fast, So today, those are the guest expectation, the potential guest expectation,
But I mean, that's a lot of pressure on the hotel. I mean, if you look at my WhatsApp sometimes, and I have to reply to so many messages and as many and as quickly as possible, and I've got this service time, and I need to respond within such a short amount of time. How can I encourage my staff to embrace this? How can I get them to sit there and actually respond to all of these messages?
Yeah, actually, you need to show how important it is and how much opportunities we have there. So, for example, today less than 2% of visitors to a hotel website converted to direct bookings. So when you set up a button of WhatsApp in your website, probably you will identify a huge amount of your website visitors, and you will have a lot of leads to work with, So that's a huge opportunity that you firstly need to show how important it is. And as I mentioned before, I have some customers that already get 90% of their revenue coming from WhatsApp, So there is a huge opportunity here for hospitality, not only through WhatsApp, but by messaging in general, as I said before, like chat and so on. Because, a potential guest, an international traveler, you don't want to make an international phone call just to ask about, I don't know, if you accept pets or if you work for free parking, So it's something really simple. And I think here, if you show this to your team, it will be clear how important it is.
No, I mean, as you say, you've got people calling from all around the world at all different time zones and times. So, I mean, the normal office hours of 9 till 5 surely is not possible. You're working 24/7, 365. How much of this is automated?
Yeah, you can choose, actually. So if you prefer, you can set up only the robot working 24 hours a day, the chatbot, the artificial intelligence, to really reply every messaging. Or most of our customer is doing is during business hours, they intervene on codes and requests. So that's the best way. You always say he say here that humans and robots do better together. So that's the point. Keep the operational service demand to the chatbot. So you not spend time with operational demand questions that are not related with sales, and keep sales requests to your team to intervene and increase the conversion rate. So that's our goal here, reduce operational requests.
So the chatbot is really acting as part of your sales funnel to be able to identify, okay, this is definitely a sale. This needs to go through to the relevant sales agent to handle. Otherwise, it is a request for information, and you can have some frequently asked questions which the chatbot can then engage with directly. That obviously allows you to provide a service online, but also be able to respond more personally to those bigger questions or more defined requirements for a booking that someone's looking to make. And with this, I mean, you talk about this chatbot. What other tools does a hotelier need in order to make conversational marketing work through its website? Do you need some sort of like lead generation platform?
Yeah, basically, in fact, the concept of conversational marketing is primarily based on having an omni-channel chatbot applied to its main service channels. So that's the point here. So that's the fastest way to start. So you don't need too much things more. So of course you need to be available to Facebook Messenger today, your Instagram, you need to be available to chat on your website. And today there are lots of platforms, not only mine, but that unify all these messaging channels in one platform. So that's the main point here. An omni-channel platform to manage all these requests. And of course, chatbots provides you, the power of instantly reply, the power of get leads 24 hours a day, engage. And that's the power of the chatbot, a multilingual experience, so you can set up a Chinese, your chatbot to speak Chinese, French, whatever language is important to better assist your potential guest, So, and of course, instead of set up like forms to get leads, you can do it in a natural way through chatbot conversation. That's the best way to get leads today.
So talk to me more about conversational marketing. How can you build a plan for conversational marketing, and how can we better understand how to approach and deploy that plan?
Yeah, so good question. First of all, it's very important to know your entire customer base data, So when you know this, you will know which messaging applications are important to be available for service and lead generation. Of course, in Asia, WeChat is really important. For example, in some markets, WhatsApp is critical to success. And then you can define which messaging channels you want to activate your chatbot or your chat and your team to work on it. So secondly, where are your where were your customers coming from, Then we activate a chatbot capable of serving all the language necessary for your business. That's the second point. You need to know this data. Then listing the most significant avenue opportunities for operating your hotel is vital. So, for example, events, they use group codes, promotional packages, restaurants. These will determine the chatbot conversation structure as soon as the traveler opens the chat. So for hotels, that work with events, for example, we activate the events button as an initial option for the chatbot, and this generates an incredible amount of leads for the sales team. Third, is essential to have a very well-made images and pictures of all hotel service and attractions. So the great advantage of conversational marketing via chatbots is that it's possible to insert images in all answers to questions related to amenities, breakfast, restaurant attractions, and of course, images sell more than words. We always say that. So, and fourth is defining the communication language. This is also important, formal, informal. Several of our customers create pets and avatars as the hotel's digital attendant, and integrate this character in marketing communications as well. With this, you can select what type of language your chatbot will use, and then you can customize and make this experience as human as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly remember when I was at the Travel Forward presentation in World Travel Market last year, 2019, watching a presentation by the CTO of Edwardian Hotels, and how their guests really believed it was an actual person at the end of its chatbot, and how distinctive its personality was. And as you say, certainly within text messaging, you can really portray a certain personality or brand image through the type of language that you use and how you engage. And certainly today, people are a lot more lazy. They don't want to be looking through websites, trying to find the exact information they want. They want an answer questions now, and they want it answered simply.
Yeah. You know that I really like the example of Google. Google is the most lovable website in the world. Why? You just have a white screen and one field to make your question. That's why we love Google. So you just ask what you want and it answer whatever you want. You don't need to find in different tabs on Google, what you want. You don't have a lot of things to read and things like that. You just ask and it answers you back. So it's exactly that experience your potential guests expect today. So when we talk about a website structure today, a whole website, your whole website needs to provide to show the experience that you are selling. So videos, pictures, and it's not a lot of sentence details and everything. No, because no one wants to read today. So basically your website needs to show the experience as much as possible, and keep on the chatbot all the information they need to make a decision, because for example, a whole website do not show what you don't have in your structure, so, and that problem the chatbot solve, because even for negative answers, the chatbot is when you set up the chatbot, you manage these negative questions, that you need to say no to your potential guests. So when you say no, you need to say a polite no to not lose this potential sale, So yeah, it's exactly that. It's a personalized way, When you make a question and get your answer of exactly what you want, you are actually providing a personalized experience on your website or whatever messaging channel.
Yeah, so really using a chatbot like you would a fishing rod to reel them in once they're on your site, then to start providing the information that they need in order to make a decision, and to help that decision through with the most relevant information in the quickest amount of time possible. And as you say, once you're able to identify all the relevant questions and answers, then that chatbot can just use that database of answers to provide the answer swiftly to the visitor, so that they're not waiting some time to get the information that they need, and then passing that on to a human if the question cannot be answered. And that, I guess, allows reservation agents to provide a much more higher quality service, I guess, to their sales contacts. They're able to be more personable in what the requirements are.
Yeah, exactly. To provide a personalized service experience for this kind of guest, you need to have enough time to do it. And you don't have enough time to provide a personalized experience for all your guests. That's why in all sectors we are seeing the increase of self-service options together with human touch. For example, today, all McDonald's stores all over the world, they split their service experience between self-service totems and human touch. So when you enter in a McDonald's store today, you find 4 or 5 totems and 4 or 5 humans. When you enter a supermarket in many countries today, you also can check out in self-service machine or choose a human touch. When we go to a bank, we have this machine to go directly, and you don't need to wait. You don't depend. You do not depend to a human touch and things like that. Or you can enter in the company and have a human touch and things like that. But that's the trend today. You need to provide instantly and self-service options for those guests that really aim to speed response, instantly response. They want autonomy. People today are asking for autonomy, to solve their own problems without depend on a good behavior. So, but also you need to provide this personalized touch for these two kind of guests.
Yeah, and just go on then, Rodrigo, give us a pitch for R Suite. Tell us about what R Suite is capable of, and why it would be useful for a hotelier.
Yeah, so today we are really building something that better connect your hotel with potential guests through communication channels, through messaging channels. So our main goal today is increase direct bookings through messaging, and also improve your agents' productivity in your reservation department. So we are building an amazing artificial intelligence that really understand what the potential guests question, and really work to increase your conversion rate through all your service channels. So basically, humans and robots do better together through Ask Suite.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. And what's the website?
www.asksuite.com.
Nice and simple. Excellent. Good. Well, Rodrigo, thank you very much for joining us today and talking through with us about conversational marketing for lead generation for hotels.
Thank you very much, Ryan. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Ciao for now. Guys, check out all the other episodes for Hotel Tech Clinic, where you can discover some of the newer technologies and emerging platforms and systems that are available for hoteliers in the hospitality ecosystem and how they all connect. So we've talked about everything from blockchain to contactless to smart contracts, right through to automation and open APIs. So go to www.travelmarket.life. I'm your host, Ryan Haynes. Thanks for joining us. Check out more episodes in the future. Ciao for now.